Dean Bokhari here. And in this lesson, we're going to cover some strategies on how to wake up feeling energized, ready to rock and roll, feeling fully charged, ready to win the morning and dominate the day. I've got 10 strategies for you today on how to wake up feeling energized and alert. So let's dive right into it with strategy number 1, which is very, very simple, very straightforward, but unfortunately not something that enough people practice, which is to hydrate immediately upon rising. You know, most people who are under-energized because they're under-hydrated, right? When you drink a glass of water as soon as you wake up in the morning, it helps you feel more alert. It helps you feel more energized. It helps with your digestion as well. So there's innumerable benefits to it. But when it comes to waking up feeling energized, waking up early, a glass of water first thing, ideally more, at least 16 ounces. So I do a liter of water as soon as I rise in the morning, every single morning. So I would suggest that you do at least a bottle of water, right? That's 16 ounces. So just crush one of those each morning as soon as you wake up, and you will feel a noticeable benefit, a noticeable increase in your energy. Number 2, put mind over mattress. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is oftentimes folks will just lay in bed. You know, you go to sleep thinking about everything you want to do in the morning, right? You're going to get up early, you're going to work on your side hustle for an hour, or you're going to go and work out, or you're going to go and do a bunch of different things first thing in the morning before heading off to work. And then your alarm clock starts beeping in the morning and you start negotiating with yourself, saying, you know what, I'll just work out tomorrow. You know what, that project can wait. You know what, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's the thing. If you stop arguing with yourself and just get up and go as soon as that alarm starts beeping, you won't have time to think about all this stuff, to think about whether you want to or you don't want to. You just get up and do it, right? This is honoring your word. This is keeping your own personal promises. And there's significant power in doing that. And each time you keep one of your own promises to yourself, for example, if you make a plan the night before to get up at a certain time and to do a certain thing, and you actually do it, your confidence increases. Your sense of self-worth goes up dramatically. So that's the second idea. And to apply this, you just shrink the gap between when your alarm goes off and when you actually physically get up out of bed. Just as soon as it happens, boom, automatic, get up, start rocking and rolling. Strategy number 3. Keep your alarm clock a walkable distance from your bed, right? When you do this, it's a lot easier for you to get up and stay up versus just having it on your nightstand and just hitting snooze over and over and over again until you've slept past your alarm 16 times and you missed your workout, you missed your hour of time that you were going to dedicate to yourself for your morning ritual, whatever it may be. So, very simple solution. Set your alarm clock at night before you go to bed and place it on your bathroom sink or somewhere where you literally physically need to get up and walk to it to turn it off. Because once you're in motion, it'll be a lot easier to stay in motion. So try that one out. Strategy number 4. A few tips on caffeine consumption. So you want to skip this one, of course, if you're not big on caffeine. But personally, I enjoy experimenting with different forms of caffeine, and I've tried a wide array of different products, right? From powdered pre-workout supplements with caffeine to different tablets to teas and espresso and extended release caffeine. That's something that I've been experimenting with more recently. That's basically a type of caffeine that helps you avoid that afternoon crash that so many people get that consume caffeine. So an extended release caffeine tablet or capsule rather is basically just the same as an extended release medication. It helps, it elongates the half-life of the supplement, of the caffeine, and it releases it into your body, into your bloodstream, far more slowly, rather than just, drinking a cup of coffee or taking a caffeine tablet or something like that, where it just immediately goes in your bloodstream. An extended release caffeine tablet or capsule will release more slowly. So just a tip on caffeine. So if you do consume caffeine, you just want to make sure that you're mindful of its half-life, right? That's the amount of time that it takes for it to metabolize in your body, for half of it to metabolize in your body. And so for most people, on average, it takes about 6 hours to eliminate just half of the caffeine that you consume. So keep that in mind, right? Of course, it depends from person to person. Some people, researchers tell us that it takes just an hour and a half. But some others, it can take 9.5 hours to metabolize in your body. So you got to experiment with it a little bit to find your own sweet spot with regard to caffeine if you do it, if you consume it. But one of the things that I also like to recommend is to anything that you do that's caffeinated, look for natural sources of caffeine, right? Like caffeine derived from green tea. So, those are not only healthier for you, there's not chemicals in it, it's not synthetic. And so the more natural you can keep it, the better when it comes to caffeine. So that is my little tip on caffeine consumption. Strategy number 5 is to give yourself compelling reasons to wake up early, right? If you're excited to get up in the morning, it'll be a heck of a lot easier as compared to, dragging yourself out of bed. This goes back to the idea of, being pulled by something versus being pushed, right? When you're pulled by something exciting, something that's driven by your purpose, something that you can look forward to, well, it's a lot easier to just get up right away when your alarm clock goes off versus being pushed by something, right? You don't want to do it. You don't feel like doing it. You find it boring. It's not interesting, right? So each night, to use this method, before you go to bed, write down, 1 or 2 exciting things that you're looking forward to the following day. And ideally, if it's something that you do first thing, it'll be even easier for you to get up and start rocking and rolling. So that is strategy number 5. At the end of each workday or before you go to bed at night, write down at least one big thing that you're excited to do or work on or complete the following day, and it'll be easier for you to wake up and get after it and to feel energized as you do so. Strategy number 6, get some sun, right? Healthy sun exposure has been proven to increase mood, to boost energy, to boost alertness, productivity. I mean, it helps your body generate and make vitamin D, which elevates your mood and has a number of additional benefits. So when it comes to waking up early, though, if you expose your body to sunlight first thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, your body actually begins to release hormones that aid in alertness, right? Like serotonin. And so your body releases those hormones as soon as the light from the sun goes through your eyes, your brain recognizes it, and all of this happens in a matter of milliseconds. Your body and brain begin to release these hormones that energize you, alert you, and make you feel good. So, to put this one into action, simply step outside for 15 minutes each morning as soon as you wake up, right? And you want to make sure your arms are exposed, right? Your neck, of course, your face. We're out of COVID times now, so you don't have to keep that mask on. So step outside and just get under the sun and at least have your arms, your neck, your face exposed so that you can actually absorb the sunlight. So do that. You'll feel more energized. You'll feel more alert. and your mood will be noticeably better. Number 7, cold exposure. Cold plunges, cryotherapy, cold showers, all that good stuff. You've heard of it. It's trending these days. And personally, I'm not really convinced of the full benefits of cold therapy, but it definitely works in terms of shocking your body and waking you up, right? So if you want to put this method into play in terms as far as waking up early goes, there's a number of different things you can do. You can get a cold plunge. You can go to a cryotherapy center where they'll put you in this machine and just blow freezing cold air at you. I've tried all these methods. I'm not convinced totally about them, but when it comes to shocking you awake, they do work. So, and you can get the same effect by taking a cold shower. You don't have to get a cryotherapy thing or a cold plunge if you don't want to. You can splash your face with water. Right? You can still benefit from it at least a little bit. So there's a number of different ways you can engage in cold therapy, but it's worth giving a shot if you haven't tried it out. Strategy number 8, get up and move your body, right? Movement, it generates energy, it gets your blood flowing, puts you in a better mood, and it gets you more fit. So if you want to incorporate a morning workout or exercise into your morning ritual, as soon as you wake up in the morning, I'll have a lot more on that in part 2 of the program, where we'll work on actually designing your morning ritual. I'm going to share my own workouts with you, and we're going to dive into a lot of fun ways for you to establish the habit of exercising in the morning if you choose to incorporate that into your morning ritual. But if you don't, though I would highly recommend you do, but if you don't, one way that you can generate some energy when you wake up in the morning is to just do something just for a couple of seconds that's physically intense, right? Crank out some push-ups, do some jumping jacks, get a jump rope, go outside and just do some jump rope, or do some planks, right? Just something that's physically demanding, even for less than a minute, just to get the blood flowing and to, wake up your mind. Strategy number 9 is to get good sleep. You want to win the day, you want to win the morning, it starts by winning at night, by getting a good night's rest. Most people need between 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night to feel fully alert, to perform at their peak the following day. Right? And if you remember us discussing bedtime ranges and bedtime deadlines in previous lessons, it's the same thing. Same idea applies here. You just want to make sure that you go to sleep within your bedtime, your bedtime range. And the ideal bedtime range for most folks is between the hours of 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. You also want to make sure that you don't sleep past your bedtime deadline. So for me, my bedtime range is between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m., sometimes 10:30. My bedtime deadline is 11 p.m. I don't let myself go to sleep after 11 p.m. pretty much ever. So that is strategy number 9. And the final strategy, a funny strategy, strategy number 10, which is before you go to sleep at night, I call this the subconscious command. Before you go to bed at night, just tell your mind, command your mind to wake you up at whatever time you want to wake up in the morning. This sounds foo-foo and fluffy, but I can tell you, I've shared it with coaching clients of mine, I've shared it with readers and listeners, and I have heard from many, many folks who have tried this method, including myself. I'm a first-hand account, although I cannot prove this one. I can't give you any studies for this one, but I can tell you that it works. And it's essentially just communicating to the non-conscious part of your brain that you want something to happen, right? Some people call it the subconscious, also known as the non-conscious, where you're essentially, it's the part of your brain that's absorbing things all day long, whether you're awake or whether you're sleeping. It's always absorbing information, ideas, thoughts, things that you hear, right? That's why it's important not to expose yourself to too much news, right? Because it's going to be on your mind all day long. It'll be resting in your subconscious. And what is the majority of the news about? It's about negative stuff, catastrophes, chaos. So you want to avoid that, and you want to guard your non-conscious mind as well as you possibly can. But that's an entirely different subject. When it comes to rising early and rising with energy, a very simple way to get yourself to do it is to, before you go to sleep at night, close your eyes and just tell yourself, tell your mind 5 times, wake me up at 5 a.m. or whatever your target time is. Wake me up at 5 a.m. Wake me up at 5 a.m. I command you to wake me up at 5 a.m. It's going to feel silly at first. It's going to feel funny. But try it out. You're not going to lose anything. And if it works, well, fantastic. So those are 10 strategies to wake up feeling energized every morning. Give them a shot. Try them out. Let me know how you like them. And I'll see you in the next lesson.